Hello and welcome to a different type of video today. So this is Tom's Toys 95 and I am a part-time eBay reseller and video game collector. In today's video I'm going to be doing sort of another sort of vlog style video, but this time I'm going to be showing what I've sold on eBay, taking it to the post office, and I'm also setting myself a somewhat listing challenge. So I don't go back to work till the 2nd of January, so I've got a few days off. I've got quite a lot of back stock of inventory left to list. So I'm going to go in there with a basket, quite literally. Don't ask how, but I have one of those the range baskets. So what I tend to do is go shopping essentially, go and fill the basket with some items that need listing, bring it into the house, and start listing it. I've recently bought a house, but it is a downsize from the one that I was renting. I did have a specific sort of eBay listing area in the previous house, and in this one it is going to be the garage, but the garage is completely rammed with all my stuff. There was more stuff in the old house compared to how big the garage is in this one, so it's completely rammed and filled really. I'm not going to show you it because I'm embarrassed. It's very busy and very full, but my plan really is to obviously make some sales, make a bit of space, but also if I buy some racking, put the racking up, get everything from the floor in the air. That's really going to help and create some space, and I can then buy some more items. So yeah, I'm going to go grab some things now. I'll go through my sales, I'll wrap and post them, we'll go to the post office, and then from there we're going to do some listing. So let's see how we get on. We're also going to start the day with a coffee. So first up, we've got this set of 10 DC Comic sort of Mighty Mini figures. These cost me 25p, probably about 8 years ago. I've just sat on them, they've been in storage. So those sold for £9.99, so I paid £2.50 for those. The next one, we've got a South Park Volume 3 to 7 DVD bundle. Now these come in a see-through jewel case. Most DVDs come in like a cheap plastic case, so I thought these were pretty cool. I paid about £3.50 for the 5. Some were 50p, some were 95p. So that cost me about £3.50. Sold for 11, so that's not bad. The next one, I picked up a clothing bundle in March. My partner's friend was actually giving away quite a lot of sort of old vintage clothes. They needed to sort of clear some space, so I did give her some money, but I picked up this massive bundle of clothes. There was probably around sort of 80 clothing items in there, and I've probably sold about 50% of them. There's just a few left that are sort of ticking over. So this one is a pair of sort of MCS rugged refined tapered jeans. So these were £14.99, which isn't too bad, especially when it cost me nothing. And this is the good sale. So the next one, if anyone watched my video on the sort of NECA figures, I picked these up probably about 2 to 3 weeks ago, and I paid £175 for 11 figures. I've sold about 3 or 4 of them already. So this one sold for £65. This is the most expensive one I've sold so far, but this is from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. So that's a good sale. So up next we've got Brothers in Arms Hell's Highway Steelbook on the Xbox 360. This one's completely manual. Probably only paid about £2 for this, and that sold for £5.49. Not really too much to say on that one. The next bundle has been hanging around for a little while. These are just sort of like leftover fodder games, hence why the postage is £3.35. It's obviously been listed a while, and I forgot to update the pricing. So that sold for £4.50. Happy to just sort of get that gone. This one's another good sale. So we've got the Assassin's Creed Syndicate Jacob Fryer figure. So this was 50 quid. I did buy an Assassin's Creed bundle not too long ago, which came with some art books, lithograph, prints and posters, and 3 really nice like statue figures. With those though, I was going to make a video on the pickups and I just sort of ran out of time, and one sold before I had a chance to make the video. But that sold for £107.50, this one sold for 50, and some of the art books have sold for about £10 to £15 each, which is good. So I reckon I'm at about £180 with that bundle now, and I only paid £100 for the lot, so we're well into profit on that one, and there's still a figure left and a couple of books, so yeah. The next sale is this Batman Arkham City Steelbook. This is the Catwoman variant. Those of you that don't know, I think there's 4 that came out in the UK. There's Batman, Catwoman, the Penguin and the Joker. This is the Catwoman one. I own 3. I believe I'm missing the Batman one myself for my collection. But I paid about £3 for this in CEX, and that sold for 13. And the last one is Back for Blood, disc only, PS5. Those of you that saw my last pickups video, you'd have known that I bought that Xbox 360 Back for Blood for £4. So this is a really nice, cheap steelbook. And what I did when I was collecting them for myself was bought the steelbook, kept it, and sold the disc. I would have only paid £4 for the game. So but after fees, I wouldn't have made any profit, but I've got the steelbook for free essentially, which is nice. So yeah, that's all the sales. Let's get to wrapping them and posting them. So I've now sourced the items. They're all laid out in front of me. They're ready to be packed and posted. The first item that we're going to pack is this Assassin's Creed figure. Now I found this really cool Mario box in the garage. This was something I was sitting on. I was going to maybe sell it as a sort of like a promo box. This came with a Nintendo Switch console a couple of years ago. But it fits the item perfectly. The buyer paid £50, so I think it's only fair that he gets a cool box to go with it. This is just a bit of an example. I won't be showing every parcel I've wrapped, but this figure is now wrapped and complete. So this is in the box, and I'm going to put a number 1 on there. So what I'm going to do now is weigh this. So it comes in at just under 1 kilogram. I'm going to measure the box dimensions, and if it's within the requirements, this will go as a small parcel. If not, if it's over 16 centimeters, it will need to go as a medium parcel. I use Royal Mail, and what I'll do is I will buy the QR code on my phone, take a screenshot, write number 1 on it, and then when I go to the post office and they scan number 1's QR code, I can pull out the number 1 box. I just find that the most efficient and quickest way, and it saves me writing the address out manually. All of my parcels and packages are now wrapped and packed, numbered, and the labels have been purchased. We're now going to get in the car and drive to the post office. It is absolutely belting down with rain here. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do. I might wait for a couple of minutes, or I might just brave it and get soaking wet. Who knows? I am back from the post office. It has stopped raining now, which is good. So what I'm going to do is show you the items that I've pulled out from the garage, and I'll show you the infamous the range basket. So here is the range basket in all its glory. It literally is just like a shopping cart. So I literally take this into my garage, go fill it up with some stock, and I usually get listing. And it's a good way because if I put a few big items in there, you know, there's less items to list. If I put a load of small items like I have today, and obviously there's a lot more to list, so it just depends how motivated I'm feeling. Today I thought I'd chuck something on YouTube or Netflix on the TV, and I can just list all this media relatively quickly. It doesn't take long at all, and I quite enjoy listing this sort of stuff. So yes, I've challenged myself today. There's about 30 odd video game related items in here, so I'm going to get listing now, and I'll show you what they are later on. This is how I would normally list. So at the moment I'm using my kitchen work counter, which is not ideal, but as I said, my garage is absolutely rammed, so I have no real listing space at the moment. So what I'll do, I've got quite a nice neutral background. You can use the sort of crop tool on eBay to remove the background and have this nice and white, but otherwise I do think this is quite a nice sort of marble effect background. So this game here, in the purpose of games, I would sort of take a picture of the front and of the back, and then we sort of open it up and we've got sort of the disc there. So I usually just take a picture like this, but if there's any sort of damage or blemishes, then obviously you'd want to take a picture of it. As an example, we've got this School Monkeys on the PS1. Now there is some damage. If you zoom in here, you can see in the top left corner, there's a rip there. So all this you want to put in the description and in the photos. If I was to just take this picture, it looks quite deceiving, and the buyer could think that it's in good condition. So in order to be as honest as possible, you want to take a picture of all the condition, and you'll probably have a better chance of selling it. Right guys, so the whole content of the basket is now being listed. This took me around 2 to 3 hours. I had to draft all the listings on my computer, and then I find it easier to just take the photos separately and just bash them all out in one go. So at first we had this Looney Tunes sort of Bershka hat here. This was $4.99 from TK Maxx. I listed that one for $19.99. I'm not going to go through what I listed everything for and how much I paid for everything, because to be honest, I don't remember every single price of every game. I paid probably around £1 to £2 on average per game. And a lot of these were from sort of car boot sales or charity shops or CEX trips. Now I have added up the total listed value for this, and it was £377.77, and that does not include postage either. So after fees, I'd be expecting probably around about £280 back if everything was to sell. Now I reckon I've probably only spent about £100 on all of these games, maybe slightly more. But yeah, I'm hoping to get a decent return back on all of these. And this is just a small sort of sample of what's left to list in my garage really. There's a big backlog ready to be listed. I just wanted to be realistic today and only pull out what I'm going to list really. So yeah, there's probably 32 listings I believe I made out of this. Some of them I managed to split up further. So for example, 13 and Back for Blood, I've listed just the steelbooks on their own, and then up there is the sort of disc only. So that's sort of 4 listings from 2 items, but in total there's 32 listings here, which I don't think is too bad for about 2 to 3 hours work. So yeah, let's get into sort of what I sold. So we've got a couple of Switch games here, a DS game, we've got some PS3, Xbox One. This Batman game's cool. This one's got sort of a 3D sleeve on it. Then we've got Devil May Cry Steelbook with the slipcover, and it also has the art book inside. This Tales of Symphonia, I've already listed the disc separately, so that's just the steelbook in there. And then we've got this really nice Last of Us Part 2 steelbook from the video that I uploaded the other day. That was from my Birmingham trip. And then these sorts of games here are just quite cheap, so we're only listing these for a couple of quid each. Same with some of these sort of PS1 sort of demo discs. This School Monkeys is quite a rare game. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the manual inside, and there is a little bit of damage here just on the cover, but that's a £60 game. That's going for quite a lot on eBay. Other than that front cover bit, the back cover is quite nice, and the disc is in there. So I've listed that for 50. Whether it'll sell for that, I don't know, but fingers crossed. Then we've got some Star Wars here. So this is a bundle of the 6 movies, and then we've got one that's sealed. I bought these off a friend, so presumably he must have got one as like a duplicate gift. We've got two copies of Sims with different covers, but they are the same game. So I believe they were released at different times and must have got a variant cover. Then we got the Need for Speed games that I picked up the other day. This Warhammer game, I always had in mind that it was a really cheap game. So these ones here, I haven't really listed because they're not really worth listing individually. But I looked up this game and it sells for £6 in CEX, but on eBay there's not many copies at all. And the cheapest one I could find was actually about £20. So we've gone for around £15 on that one. We've got Assassin's Creed Syndicate. This is the sort of special edition version of the cover. So if I just get that out there. Bit of sort of damage on it, so it's not in perfect condition. But that is, I could ask a little bit more for that one because of the special edition. And then these sort of 6 games at the bottom here, I've listed all as a bundle. So that's everything that I've listed to date. So now that all of those games have been listed, these will be packed away into the garage. Once they sell, I will pack them, post them, and yeah, the cycle repeats. I will continue to list in the meantime. Still have a great big backlog of things such as clothes, shoes, more games, more media. I may do a separate video on this one, but in the summer last year, or sort of the end of summer, should I say, I picked up a massive bundle of watches. Not really expensive brands, but some of them are designer brands. And I haven't listed all of them yet. There's only sort of a sample that are on my eBay store at the moment. It's such a colossal task to get them all listed. I must have bought about 300 watches, and there was £500 worth of jewellery. I believe there was around 200 to 300 pieces of jewellery in there, because I paid around £2 a piece. So that is a big challenge that I just haven't had time to get listed yet. So going into 2024, I want to get all of those sort of watches and jewellery listed. So I'll probably do a few videos to keep me motivated and show you guys sort of what watches and what jewellery I have. And if if anyone sort of wants to check any out, then obviously it'll be on my eBay store. But in the meantime, all those games are done. They're going to go away now. And yeah, this is just a quick video, sort of day in the life of a part-time eBay reseller. Usually I don't have as much time as I've had today. I do work in between. I've had a day off today. I'm not back until sort of January, as I said earlier. But a normal day for me would be sort of wake up and before work, scramble into the garage, quickly wrap a load of parcels, and on my lunch break it's nip into the post office, getting them posted, and then in my own free time after work it will be listing, and on the weekends will be when I sort of source items, get the chance to go to CEX, other game shops, other charity shops, maybe car boots and stuff. So it is exhausting. It does take up quite a lot of time. Obviously I work 40 hours a week, and then you've got to spend sort of 15, 20, 30 hours a week on top of that, listing stock and packing stock when they're sold. So it can be quite exhausting. But yeah, this is sort of a day in the life video. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like and consider subscribing if you're new around here, and I'll see you on the next video.